Hi guys. Let me close my door really fast. Okay, your girl is in a hurry. So, this tutorial, if you're new, it's not normally how fast we go, but we are gonna go and throw on our makeup really quickly. Gonna go ahead and pin that there. Okay, just got home and got my hair done, finally. And we're gonna throw on some makeup real quick. We're not going like full glam. I mean, we're doing flawless. We're doing flawless coverage as always, but we are gonna go out to our river house and the kids are about to come home from school. And then I have to pack up the car and go. So I want to throw on some makeup if we're going out and about. I wanted to get ready this morning, but we had our house cleaned, and so I always hate like being in my office when the cleaners are here. I don't know. It's like weird. I always feel bad. I'm like, oh, sorry. I hate getting like their way, you know? But happy Friday. How's your guys' Friday going? Who's ready for the weekend? The weather is so pretty outside, but it kind of looks like it's gonna rain. I don't know if it is gonna rain, but it kind of looks like it. All right, we're just gonna blend out this serum plus foundation as evenly as we can. Might use a little bit more. My skin has felt so flippin' dry lately. It's been kind of crazy. Anytime I'm sick, my skin kind of freaks out afterwards. Are you guys like that? Or is that like a psoriasis thing? My psoriasis like goes absolutely haywire. I have like some dryness on my eyebrow, and it didn't help that I ran out of my psoriasis medication while I was sick, but I was actually so impressed because normally when I run out of my psoriasis medication and my skin's freaking out, like it gets really, really bad. But I've been so good at taking my collagen every day that I truly feel like it really helped like hold down the fort, you know what I mean? So anyway, I just had to say, if you have psoriasis or eczema and you're not on the marine collagen that I share every day, you definitely should. It is transformative, especially if you have dry skin like that. All right, blending down the neck. It's gonna be such a nice, relaxing weekend. We are gonna be hanging out with some of our friends, doing some get-together dinners. We recently bought a Polaris side-by-side, and so we're gonna take that out and about, which should be pretty fun. So yeah, it'll be a good fun weekend. We're taking an early weekend. Pressing this in all over. So thankful for amazing animal house sitters that are here and like holding down the fort, which is so nice and wonderful. All right, we're gonna blend this out. Aw, thank you. You get your hair done tomorrow. So exciting. I needed it done so bad. It was crazy. I went like a week longer than I normally do. Let me tell you, I felt it. I was like, oh my gosh, I need my hair done so bad. Almost forgot my concealer on my under eye. This concealer is doing the Lord's work. This hides everything. You have a discoloration, you got a blemish. No, you don't. Not with this concealer. And it has squalene in it, which is super nourishing and hydrating. And caffeine and peptides. Like, it is so insanely good for your skin, but also covers so well. Hello, hi, how are you guys? If you're new at one of these tutorials, I normally go a lot slower and we talk more application, but we are in a hurry today. My kids are coming home from school shortly, so want to be ready to help them with all their things. I know, I love the blonde. I have been blonde for, gosh, since I was like 20, maybe like 19 actually. I remember when I first went blonde. I started out with like little highlights. One of my best friends in high school she went to cosmetology school. So she would always like mess around with our hair and like bleach it and tone it and like do all kinds of stuff to it. And I had psoriasis really bad in high school. Like it was really, really bad, painful. And she bleached some of my hair and like some of that like really uncomfortableness went away on my scalp from her bleaching it. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is like, did I just find a hack? And ever since then, I have bleached my whole head. I did go back to my normal hair color. When was it? When I was like 23, very shortly. Ryan and I got pregnant when we were dating, actually. This is like, we're getting to know each other today. Ryan and I got pregnant 3 months into dating, and I was platinum blonde, and we were very excited. I mean, we were scared and like, holy shit, okay, this is happening. And then we were excited. And I read that you like can't bleach your hair when you're pregnant. So I dyed it back to my normal. I mean, wasn't quite as dark as my normal hair color, like my natural, but it was lighter. It was like closer to that. And then you guys, like 2 days later, after I had dyed my hair back, I had a miscarriage. It was really sad, really hard. I was 13 weeks along. We knew it was a boy. It was really sad. And I was so like distraught, obviously. And I was even more so distraught, not even more so, that's not accurate. I was just pissed off all around because I had now had brown hair, and Ryan and I broke up for a little while, and it was just all over, and I was just like a brunette during all of it, which made it so much worse. But anyway, so I went back to platinum blonde after that, and I've never gone back. So I've been platinum for years. I don't know if I'll ever go back to my true hair color. One, because of my psoriasis, it just gets really bad when I have my natural hair color. But two, partly because PTSD, right? Thank you. I know, I feel like when I had my miscarriage, I feel like it was very taboo to talk about still. This was 12 or 13 years ago, and I never like posted about it, just kind of suffered in silence, which I feel like a lot of women do with miscarriages. I feel like now it's very common to talk about it, and miscarriages are so much more normal than anyone thinks it is. It's pretty crazy like how many women, their first pregnancy ends in miscarriage, whether they know or not, which I had no idea about that. Like I didn't know anything about miscarriages. It was absolutely horrible. I was actually really blessed in our situation because I actually passed the baby like naturally and got it all out, so I didn't have to have a DNC or anything like that. I always feel so sad for women that have to go through like the actual labor and delivery process. Like, you know, it's horrible, absolutely horrible. So I'll never forget too when we went in to the ER, and I was like, now I know, because now I've had babies, now I know I was actually like in labor and like I was having like back labor, and it was absolutely horrible. And I still can't believe how long they let us sit in the waiting room like that. Crazy. And anyway, like I was in a lot of pain, and then all of a sudden I wasn't in a lot of pain after I went to the bathroom, and you can kind of gather the story there. And I went in and got an ultrasound, and the nurses left, and they brought in this doctor, this freaking doctor I'll never forget. Can't remember what his name is, but his freaking smug face is like plastered in my memory. And he comes in all cheery, and he's like, "There's no baby." And I remember just be like, you know, your world crashes, like your world is over. And this cheery MFer said it like that. And oh, I'll never forget, my father-in-law was in the room. And you could have thought that he was gonna like kill this man. And then while we're like in there grieving, this next woman comes in about insurance. Like, oh, it was the worst experience of like, honestly, one of the worst experiences of my life. I could not believe this woman came in asking about fucking money. Sorry, I'd never say the F word on live. Asking about money. Like, I just couldn't. It was like the worst. It was the absolute worst. And to make it even worse, I was brunette. Yes, we didn't talk about it back then. I had a miscarriage 20 years ago. I never was able to. Oh, I'm so sorry. I know, it's really like, they really didn't talk about it. My mom never had one, so she was like, I didn't even know like that was something to talk about. And so, and they always say like your pregnancies like mimic your mother's pregnancies. So it's kind of crazy that I had one, she didn't. My sister also had one. And I did find comfort to like know that I could like, you know, give comfort to her through all of that. But anyway, I don't even know how we got on this subject. But I always do like sharing and getting to know you guys even better. After all, I do my makeup with you guys like every day. So you guys are just gonna get to know me that much better. Yeah, right? So messed up. I'll never forget it. Oh my gosh, I could not. I still think about that. How, like, what? And he, like, after, obviously, he said that, and then there was a nurse that was, like, walking in, and we were obviously very distraught, you know, when he said that, and he was kind of looking at us like we're crazy, like, why are they crying? And she was like, they wanted the baby. Like, it was so weird. I like couldn't get my head around it. But one really nice thing was the place that we went to the ultrasound before all that happened, like, I don't know, like a week or two before that, we got to like see the baby and found out it was a boy and stuff like that. And that clinic ended up like sending Ryan and I a letter in the mail, like offering their condolences, and like sent like a Bible and another copy of the ultrasound. It was very sweet. I still have it. And it is kind of sweet because like I used to wear, my ring doesn't fit anymore. I don't know if I've tried them on like lately, but I used to have this ring with the birth date on it. And so the kids, when I think it was Abel or Royce, when they were little, asked what it was. And so I ended up telling them about like the baby and stuff. And they like gave the baby a name. So it's kind of nice because the kids like still talk about it. Like Royce talks about it a lot. Like, I wonder what it'd be like with if so-and-so, you know, it's kind of cute. It brings me joy to know that they knew or like know of and talk about it and stuff. So we kind of had a name picked out. So when I was pregnant with that baby, we were choosing a name and we were in the car and we were talking about names, and I wanted a biblical name and I suggested Cain, and Ryan's like, no, not Cain. Cain's the one that like kills the brother. And as we're talking about this, a song comes on the radio by Ryan's favorite band, and the song is called Hey Abel. Isn't that weird? And we both looked at each other and we were like, Abel, like that's the name. So we were going to name that baby Abel, but obviously we had the miscarriage. So then when I did get pregnant with my son, Abel, it was just kind of like, we knew that was the name that we wanted. But right before he was born, my son, I wanted to name him Lincoln. I went through this like huge, I don't even know. I was so like, I wanted to name him Lincoln so bad. But at this point, I had already painted his nursery. I had already had outfits and blankets with his name on it. And I just felt like I could. So so we call that baby that I miscarried, we call that baby Lincoln. So I still got my Lincoln, I guess. But anyway, yeah. I never told them that that baby was supposed to be named Abel, but because I don't know, I never wanted Abel to feel like second, you know? But anyway. Anywho, we're just getting so personal today, but It's all good. All right, filling in my eyebrows, and then now I'm going in with my brow gel. We're making good time. My hopes is to be like almost done before the kids get home. And then after we had, so then we obviously got back together. We didn't even break up that long. And we knew we wanted a baby like right away. There's like just that hole, like when you have a miscarriage, you just have like this hole in your heart. And we wanted to fill that hole so bad. So we got pregnant right away. We definitely tried for a baby, even though during that time, we were young. We were like, so how old was I? I was 24 at the time, which is so young. And now I look at that. And I remember when we did get pregnant with Abel, our parents were just like, are you just the most fertile person in the whole world or what? And we were too like shy to be like, no, we actually tried for a baby. Which what 24-year-olds try for babies? Like, isn't that funny? Anyway, so we got pregnant with Abel and we got married and it was a successful, obviously amazing pregnancy and all that. And then we went on, so we waited a year to have like our actual wedding, and then we went on our honeymoon, and I worked so hard at losing the baby weight, but by the time we had our 1-year anniversary for our like actual big wedding, and we're on our honeymoon and I got pregnant with Royce. Oh my gosh, I'll never forget it. We came home from our honeymoon, I went back to work, and I at the time worked at a toolbox company, and my desk mate, her name was Samantha. She had dated her boyfriend for a long time. And she was experiencing pregnancy symptoms. And she's like, shoot, I think I'm pregnant. And I'm like, just take a test. And she was like freaking out. She was like definitely freaking out about potentially being pregnant. And I was like, I already had a kid at this point. So I'm like, just take a test. I'll take one with you. So we go to Target on our lunch break. We get pregnancy tests. We come back to the office. We both take the pregnancy tests. And we set them on the counter and we wait, we set the timer and the timer goes off and she can't even look. And I look and I'm like, oh my gosh, you're pregnant. And she's like, are you serious? Oh my God. And she looks and she goes, no, that's not my test. And I was like, no, this is your test. And she was like, no, I put mine on this counter. And I look over at that one and that one's pregnant too. I was having symptoms, but I thought I was having symptoms because she was having symptoms. You know, like how women do that, like you can like have those sympathy pains. Oh, so I was having symptoms as well, but I was like, oh, it's because we share a desk and she's been talking about feeling like this every single day, all day. Like I'm telling you, she was like the most sensitive person ever when it came to her pregnancy. Even throughout the whole time we were both pregnant, I was like, suck it up. Like, you're killing me. But anyway, so joke was on me. I was pregnant as well. So I remember going home from work that day and Ryan comes home and I'm like, I have something to tell you. And he's like, what? And I was like, I'm pregnant. And he just starts laughing and then like starts to walk away. And I'm like, no, like I'm serious. And he was like, how? I'm like, what do you mean how? We've been married for a year. We already have a kid and you don't know how? Oh my gosh, it was so funny. Our kids are only 20 months apart. So when you're 25 years old and you have a 1-year-old, or not even a 1-year-old, he wasn't even 1 when I found out I was pregnant. Oh, life. I was pretty, oh good. Yep, so funny. I'll never forget looking at the test, be like, you're pregnant. And she was like, that's not my test. And I was like, you're a liar. And I didn't know I was friends with a liar. And then, lo and behold, joke's on me. I used my bronzer for my eyeshadow today. And now I'm going in with an eyeliner. What do I want to do now? Do I want to do eyeshadow? Yes, I do. I want to do a little bit of liner. Oh my gosh, that's so funny, Kelly. I was like, how the heck did we get on this subject? I feel like when I'm in a hurry and I'm just like being a spaz, you can get me to talk about just about anything. Okay, we're gonna throw some over here. Just like that. And then for Royce's name, I knew I wanted like a boy style name for her, and my husband and I could not agree on a name. He hated every name I thought of, and I ended up calling her Posy for a lot of my pregnancy, actually. Thank God I don't like the name Posy now for my daughter, but oh, someone had asked about Aviator Nation. I would say the pants run true to size, almost run big, and then the tops run small. All right, let's do some quadra. And so we went back and forth with names. I really loved the name Charlie, which worked out because my sister ended up naming her daughter Charlie. But I loved boy names. I really wanted to name her Ryan, so like she'd be the junior. He did not like that. I love boy names for girls. And so one night I was so frustrated with him because he was like, no. And we agreed on Abel like so quickly. So it was like weird picking a girl name. And so I was like, okay, start naming like the things that you love. And my husband is a very big soccer fan, football fan. And so he starts naming. So I'm like, name your favorite soccer players. He's like, Ronaldo, Messi. I'm like, okay, start naming players that have actual names that could work for a girl. And so he goes through all of these names and he says Marco Reus, which he's a German soccer player. And obviously he's from Germany. And I actually have always loved the name Royce. I knew a boy in college named Royce, and he was the cutest, sweetest thing. And he was one of my really good friends. And I was like, oh my gosh, I love that name. And I feel like it was really unique. Like I didn't know any other boys or girls named Royce. And so, but he spelled his name, obviously he's German. So his name is spelled R-E-U-S-E, I think. And I was like, no, if we're already naming her like a very unique name, like we need to like dumb it down. So she was Royce. And then I wanted a really feminine name for her middle name, just in case like she didn't like that. And my mom's middle name is Anne. And my mom was really pushing for us to have her middle name be Anne, but my niece's middle name is Anne. And I'm like, you already got a grandbaby with the middle name Anne. And I didn't even remember how I thought of it. Maybe it was just like by happenstance, but I love Jennifer Aniston. I loved her. She kind of annoys me now, but I love Jennifer Aniston. I mean, I still kind of really love her, but so I love that name Aniston. And then of course, in my true fashion, the closer I got to my pregnancy, the more I was like, no, I don't want to name her Royce. I want to name her Aniston, just like I did with Abel. But of course I had everything already, you know, blankets made, things painted. So she was Royce Aniston, which really works out because we call her Roycey Rue, which is even cuter because my nickname with my parents growing up was Rhea Rue. So I got to pass on my Rue, which was cute. My parents and my siblings. If like, you know how like you always predict how someone's going to answer the phone? When my siblings or my mom answer the phone, they go, hey, Rue. So I love that she got my nickname. So it all worked out. And then we decided to stop at 2. We had them so close together and we were so young and freshly married that we were like, we want a life. Like we didn't have a life for a very long time when it came to the miscarriage and then getting back together and then getting pregnant and then getting married and then getting pregnant and then trying to establish our life. So we just decided, oopsies, to stop at 2. I think that if we didn't, like if Ryan didn't get snipped, I think we would have probably had a couple more because we've both gone through a little bit of baby fever over the last 10 years. It was actually more so Ryan than me. He went through major baby fever, probably like, oh gosh, how long ago was it? It was like before I moved here. So like probably 3 years ago, he had major baby fever and he was like, I'll get unsnipped. I'll do everything. But my career like really exploded around COVID time. And I was like, I just felt like it wouldn't be fair to that baby because I was the breadwinner. I am the breadwinner. And during that time, I was like, it just would make me sad to know that like I was so there for my other two. And then like the third, I wouldn't really be there. I don't know. So we didn't. So we are happy with 2. And that's my story. I am dying. If you tuned in live for this one, you got a treat. There's the makeup look of the day. Super fresh, super easy, super quick. And we just spilled all of our trauma and our life stories. So hopefully you enjoyed this tutorial. Let me know if you guys want the product list. Just say product list. If you want my lips, say lip kit. If you want my eyes, I just use bronzer. But my bronzer and my blush are both 50% off. They're so good. The Serum Plus foundation that I did today has a 12-hour transfer-proof hold. It is so insanely flawless. If you get one thing, get my Flawless bundle, which comes with foundation, concealer, pressed powder, the cream contour or blush that we did, and primer. So you get all 5 items. At a huge discount. So make sure to snag those. I love you guys. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. I probably won't be live tomorrow, but make sure to follow me on Instagram because I'll be doing my makeup live on Instagram stories tomorrow. So follow me on Instagram. My name there is Rhea Hope, and I love you guys. I'll see you soon. Bye.